Eagle Eye Football here, Crystal Palace 1, Brighton 1. Joined here with Mr. Statman Dan. Thoughts on the game?
I thought first half we were the better team. Second half, I think they were the better team. But to be honest, I think that's more because they've got a lot more depth than us. Regardless of, I mean, we got about the same amount of injuries. Let's not get it wrong here. I think the subs that they could bring on very much overshadowed the subs that we were able to bring on.
I agree, and I think that potentially certain people would say there was some errors in the starting 11. What do you think about Hughes playing instead of Schlupp or Ozo today?
Was Schlupp on the bench? Oh, he was on the bench. Okay, well, I'm surprised he didn't make an appearance. So, I mean, to be honest, I actually thought Roy got the tactics spot on in the first half. So, in terms of the starting 11, I'm not going to gripe it too much. I mean, you know, you could argue till the cows come home about, you know, maybe should he have started Ozo over Hughes. But besides that, I mean, I think that starting 11 was pretty spot on. Having the three in midfield, trying to stop Brighton's central progression, I thought was really good. Trying to force them out to their right-hand side as well. Again, I thought that was good, and making sure if it was on the left-hand side, we had enough players. So it ended up being like a 1v1 or like a 3v3 rather than like an overload. So in terms of that, I've got no real major gripes. I mean, in terms of what Roy could have done. Thing is, I don't want to blame Ebbs because it's not his fault. Obviously, like there's so many other things that go on in the game, but. Ideally, well, really, we've seen him in the past bury those kind of chances, and also their goal came from him not clearing the ball when I feel like he probably should have. In that particular situation, just kick it long, let them reset.
Just put your foot for it.
Yeah, put your foot for it, reset, let ourselves reset, start again. And I think with Roy, you know, to be honest, is it a case of Ebbs isn't fit? Probably more so, rather than him not being great. But I mean, we saw Patrick Vieira stick Ebbs on the left-hand side. We didn't like it, so we've seen Roy do it now. Should he really have done that? I don't know.
Yeah.
But then, to be fair, at the same time, and this was saying off camera, is like, well, what can he really do? I mean, yeah, you could argue should he bring França on maybe on the left instead. But yeah, I mean, like, could he have brought França on? Okay, yeah, sure, but there isn't. Well, I don't think there's huge amounts he could have really done.
Yeah, I agree. I think that we sort of tried to deploy sort of like a half-assed press. Like it was a good press, but I don't think that it was really refined because when we pressed them, we ended up getting our goal. Do you think we maybe should have exploited that a little bit more than we actually did in this game?
I think first half our press was decent. I think the thing is with like teams like Brighton, I think you can't just like run at them constantly because they're going to pass around you. I think you need to make sure that you press at the right opportunities. So like, I don't know, whether maybe you get them in a particular position and then once a defender, I don't know, touches the ball or something, then that's when you go at them. I thought our press in the first half was decent. I think in the second half, I think we're just knackered, if I'm to be honest. Like for me, like Mateta looked knackered after like 70 minutes.
Oh yeah.
So, and again, that goes back to our lack of depth. Yeah, maybe Olu Adebomi could have been on the bench just to give like that sort of threat, but then, you know, we've got one striker injury. We've got no one else we can even put up there.
Yeah, I think Elise looked tired at the end of the game as well. But finally, Dan, who is your man of the match today?
My man of the match. There's a few that I could give it to, and there's a few sort of on that tier. Like I could give it to Mateta because I thought he was excellent until he got knackered. I thought Ayew was excellent, obviously as well. He scored the goal. I thought Elise was brilliant as well. I thought he progressed the ball well on that right hand side, and I thought he had some flicks and tricks come off. And obviously got the assist. You know what? I'll give it to my boy Ayew.
Dan, up the Palace.
Up the Palace.